And I'm back. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Let Me Learn Ya. And if you have PCOS or polycystic ovary syndrome, you're gonna wanna watch this video because today I'm going to be reviewing SMOO. SMOO, yes. I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's S''moo, and it's completely cow themed. SMOO has a product specifically called Ovary Good, which we are going to be reviewing today. Ovary Good basically claims to stop PCOS symptoms in its tracks. On its website, it has thousands upon thousands of 5-star reviews from women claiming that SMOO has absolutely changed their lives. There's so many supplement companies out there claiming to make a product that treats all symptoms of PCOS. But the problem is that most of them don't actually work. And the sad part about all of this is it is very easy to prey on individuals who have PCOS because they feel failed by their doctors, they feel failed by the medical community, and they are suffering from these horrible symptoms without getting any relief. But is SMOO's Good Ovary product somehow magically different? Never thought I'd say a sentence like that in my life. Today, you will learn about the company and their claims. You will learn about the science behind their product and if it is worth your buck. And lastly, what my general recommendations are going forward, which of course always consist of always talk to your specific healthcare provider before starting a new supplement. So stick around if you want to find out if Good Ovary is one of the few supplements that make it past my Eye of Sauron completely unfazed. PCOS is actually one of the most common endocrine disorders, affecting 5 to 10% of girls or women within reproductive age. And what's so frustrating about PCOS is that the cause isn't really understood. The treatment is pretty stinking iffy. For many living with PCOS, depression goes along with having PCOS because the symptoms are very antithesis to everything that we equate with feminine standards, beauty, and expectations, such as weight gain, facial hair, and infertility. But those symptoms are just the tip of a very large iceberg of other symptoms. And take note, all you, oh, it's so easy, calories in, calories out, MFers. PCOS is one of the many disorders that healthcare professionals reference when talking about how it's not as easy as calories in, calories out. Because individuals with PCOS can gain weight even when trying to control it and being on a diet. The basic characteristic of PCOS is hyperandrogenism. Hyperandrogenism is just the excessive secretion or activity of androgens. An androgen is a natural or synthetic steroid that regulates basically male characteristics. So an example of this is testosterone. Hyperandrogenism, say that 5 times fast, hyperandrogenism, judicial system. Just stop, just pause right now and try to say judicial system without sounding drunk. Though hyperandrogenism is the basic characteristic of PCOS, it is not the only diagnostic criteria. Insulin resistance is thought to play a central role in PCOS because insulin actually increases production of androgens. Treatment, as I mentioned before, is pretty iffy. It's basically just trying to manage the symptoms. It's not trying to treat the actual issue because they don't really understand what the issue is. So the first thing that usually happens is you're put on birth control. You can also get hormone injections, and then they try to manage symptoms such as facial hair and weight gain and insulin resistance with various types of drugs and treatments such as metformin, spironolactone, or fertility drugs. SMOO was created by the founder, Kerrigan Osmond, who is a self-professed PCOS sister. She was diagnosed with PCOS at the age of 14 and immediately put on birth control. Her mom didn't like the idea of her being on birth control at such a young age, so she took her off the birth control and took her to a naturopath. Kerrigan was then trying acupuncture, Chinese medicine, and though her period did come back doing all of these things, she still was experiencing all the other symptoms. And specifically, one of of those symptoms that she was really worried about was weight gain. She mentioned that she was carrying an excess 50 pounds on her body, and though she was eating 1,200 calories a day, she still was not losing any weight, and if she ate a calorie over 1,200, she would start gaining. She was obsessively tracking her food, counting her calories, withholding food from herself even though she was hungry. She was exercising a lot, which eventually led her to get interested in powerlifting, which she said allowed her to be more lenient with her food and led to the weight changes that she was looking for. But she claimed that she took powerlifting to the extreme. So while she was doing this, she was still experiencing all of the symptoms of PCOS and didn't really know what to do. So she started looking around, learning about things on the internet like you do, and put together a little cocktail of supplements that she heard helped with PCOS. Taking this cocktail of supplements helped her to finally manage her symptoms. That's what she said. But at the same time, she stopped being obsessive about tracking her food and withholding food from herself. She also finally got a hold of the powerlifting where she wasn't doing it in an extreme way. So she went from constantly abusing her body to not doing that. My theory is it wasn't so much the supplements, it was that she stopped abusing her body and was helping her body by doing regular exercise and feeding her body the nutrients that it needed. No supplement is going to completely undo the abuse that you put on your body. Ever, period. It may help a little, it may take the sting off, but it is not going to undo you not sleeping well, not being able to handle your stress, not exercising regularly, not going outside. It doesn't work that way. Okay? So this is when the big change happened, because she was like, I wish I didn't have to put all of these little supplements together and take them all separately. I want them to be all in one spot. And wouldn't it be cool if it was like a little mixture that I could just dump in a smoothie? Smooth. Smoo was born, and it's a line of products that you can dump into smoothies, dump into your coffee, dump into baking products, and you are getting supplements and all the things that you need in one spot that will help you to manage your PCOS symptoms. This company reminds me so much of Bloom Nutrition, which I just reviewed. It's the same story with just slightly different changes. They sell the same stuff, all the buzzwords, the collagens, the helping with the sleep vitamins, the hair and nails vitamins, but then they have their stars. For Bloom, it's their greens powders, and for Smoo, it's their hormonal powders. So it's basically like they're in a multiverse and they're just different versions of the same person. That's Bloom Nutrition. Yeah, I had to bring Marvel in. The other thing that is similar between these two companies is both of the founders have zero education, formal training, any experience being taught anything about nutrition, food supplements, health, disease states, nothing. Her entire work background is being in customer service in varying levels of customer service at companies that sell alternative supplements like vegan protein powders, and she worked at Whole Foods in the vitamin and supplement department. She worked at Quest Bar. Just because you work in customer experience or customer service and you are taught what the company does and what to say to consumers, it does not mean that you understand the process that goes behind making these supplements or the research that talks about whether or not these supplements have any efficacy, if they're safe, what the doses are. I could go on and on forever. She has no experience in what she's doing except for the fact that she is somebody who had PCOS. The original Ovary Good was intended to be like this scoopable powder that you could easily add to your smoothies, your coffee. You can even add it to like cookies or baked goods, whatever you want. And now there are multiple flavors. So there's the original that was no flavor, so it wouldn't affect what you added it to. Now they have chocolate, cake batter, and strawberry. You can also get Ovary Good in pill form in case you don't want to mess around with smoothies. One container of Smoo will put you back $55 and give you 30 servings, which equates to $1.80 per serving. Smoo powder, not the pills, contains 2 ingredients that I believe is the majority of the product and mostly filler. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about how this thing costs $1.80 a serving. You are getting mostly pea protein, which is cheap, and coconut oil powder. If those 2 items were ingredients that were supposed to help with PCOS symptoms, they would be included in the pills as well, and they are not. So my theory is it's just powder to fill up the scoop to make it seem like, cool, I'm putting a whole scoop of deliciousness into my smoothie. So we're not even going to talk about those ingredients, but let's get into the nitty-gritty, deep, dark, delicious goods of this product, because there are ingredients in here that have a good chunk of science behind them, so much so that there are health professionals who are recommending these supplements to individuals with PCOS, and one of them is inositol. Inositol is a sugar alcohol, which is also for some reason called B8. It is not a vitamin, don't get it twisted. And if you want to learn about sugar alcohols and how they make you toot, check out my video on that, which is one of the reasons why it's usually recommended that if you start inositol, you don't start with a huge dosage. You start small and you gradually increase. There are multiple forms of inositol, such as myo-inositol, D-chiro-inositol, L-chiroinositol, but overall it plays an essential role in insulin sensitivity, communication between cells, oocyte maturation, so basically you developing a mature ovary, lipid synthesis, just a bunch of things. Deficiencies of myo-inositol are being linked to individuals with PCOS, also thyroid disorders and diabetes. It is very fascinating, this research that's going on. I'll do a whole video on inositol, okay? Do you guys want that? If you do, like this freaking video, show me some love. I put in some work here, okay? And comment below. You want to hear more about inositol? It's pretty freaking cool. But there have been multiple randomized controlled trials, the gold standards of research, that have observed inositol supplementation leading to hormonal parameters improving, body weight and BMI decreasing, circulating leptin decreasing, increasing HDL, improving pregnancy rates, improving the development of mature oocytes, as well as improving thyroid function and decreasing bad cholesterol. Chromium is an essential mineral that plays a role in how you break down carbohydrates and fats and use them as energy. It has mainly been studied for its treatment in type 2 diabetes, specifically in reducing blood sugar. And a deficiency has been linked to individuals who have disorders in glucose homeostasis and insulin resistance. And some studies showed that when individuals with PCOS supplemented with 200 milligrams of chromium a day for long periods of time, we're talking 3 to 6 months at least, their insulin resistance and glucose tolerance improved somewhat. But there were no changes in hormones, reproductive health, testosterone levels, nada. Except in one study where individuals were taking 1,000 milligrams, 5 times the amount that's in Ovary Good, and they saw a slight decrease in testosterone. Magnesium, of course, is in here because people in the supplement world think magnesium deficiencies are the cause of all things terrible in the world. It does play numerous roles in hundreds of different metabolic pathways and things that happen in your body, but it is not a very common deficiency, even though people will claim that. There were no studies that I could find linking a magnesium deficiency with individuals with PCOS or supplementation of magnesium helping individuals with PCOS with any type of symptom. So that's completely up in the air. Individuals with PCOS may be deficient in zinc, and it is another essential mineral that plays a role in how you break down fats, proteins, and lipoproteins and carbohydrates and use them for energy. A deficiency in zinc has been linked to hypertriglyceridemia, so high levels of triglycerides, fats, as well as insulin resistance and obesity. I couldn't find much on this, but I did find a study where individuals with PCOS took 50 milligrams of zinc sulfate for 8 weeks, and they did see a slight significant reduction in total cholesterol, LDL, and their triglycerides. But that is it. No hormonal changes, no weight changes, no blood sugar changes, no nada. Then we've got NACL. I don't know why I always call it NACL. Is it because I'm thinking of nickels? At least think of a quarter, Lana. Think big. It is N-acetylcysteine, which is a precursor, basically something you need to make a thing, to glutathione, which is a potent antioxidant in our bodies. It is known to regulate insulin receptor function on our red blood cells, as well as increase insulin secretion. So it's knocking on that pancreas and it's like, hey, buddy, can you squirt out some stuff for us? Thanks. Some studies have shown that supplementation of 1,800 milligrams of NAC can improve insulin resistance and slightly reduce testosterone levels, but only at those amounts. And in a placebo-controlled study, it was shown to improve pregnancy and ovulation rates. But there wasn't a lot of research on this, so I'm kind of like, iffy on it. And then we come to ashwagandha, the latest darling of the supplement world that people are claiming to cure everything from infertility to stress to weight to sleep issues. Do you know what it means? It means smell of a horse. And if you've ever smelled ashwagandha, it's kind of close. Let's talk about cortisol because that is where ashwagandha shines. So let's say you're uber stressed all the time, you've got high levels of cortisol. Ashwagandha will potentially help decrease that cholesterol a little bit. But let's say you're somebody who is not producing enough cortisol. Ashwagandha is going to help bump that up a little bit. So it adapts to the situation, adaptogen, by increasing or decreasing your levels in a way that benefits you. Ashwagandha has been shown to help with stress, balancing out cortisol levels, as mentioned previously, reducing blood sugar, helping individuals sleep better at night. There are a few studies that show benefits from taking ashwagandha at lower dosages, from like 200 to 400 milligrams. Most of the studies that I've seen that show efficacy are at least 600 milligrams once a day, and the majority of the studies that I've seen are at least 1 gram to 3 grams 1 to 3 times a day. Studies I was able to find regarding fertility and ashwagandha were only conducted in either animals, which I am not going to talk about because we can't equate that to humans, or men. I like that number one, they're transparent with what the ingredients are mostly and how much of each ingredient you are getting. That was refreshing coming off of my Bloom review where they use nothing but proprietary blends, and therefore I had no idea how much of each ingredient you were getting. They put ingredients in here that pretty much most of them had at least some research behind them, and some of them have a good solid chunk of research behind them. The chromium dosage was accurate with the studies. It's at 200 milligrams, so I like that. I like the fact that you're getting all this stuff in one scoop. Having a little scoop where you can just mix it into your coffee or dump it into a smoothie, I think is actually a good idea. It's soup's convenient. I don't like that this is another company where the founder has zero experience or formal educational training in what they're doing, and they're basically just taking guesses at formulating a product that happened to work for them. The price does not justify what you are getting. The ingredients that are in this product, and I will explain later, you can get for super mega cheap. And the majority of this product, I am theorizing, is mostly cheap brown rice powder and coconut powder. I don't like that it doesn't specify what type of inositol they are using. And the dose is pretty high to start with. It's 2,000 milligrams. Usually it's suggested to start with around 500 to 600 milligrams and gradually increase. So if you do decide to use this product, you might want to consider starting with like a quarter of a scoop and then working up to half and so on. Some of the ingredients in here, though they are backed by research, are not in doses high enough that research has shown them to have efficacy or benefit. For example, NAC is too low, ashwagandha is borderline, and chromium, though it was the correct dosage to help with blood sugar, was not the right dosage to help regulate testosterone. They use stevia in their flavored versions, and if anybody knows me, I freaking hate that stuff. I hate it, 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 I hate it. Number one, first and foremost, if you are somebody who has been diagnosed with PCOS, you need to request to be tested for specific vitamins and minerals. And the ones that you should be tested for are A and D, C, because if you are someone with PCOS with some sort of blood sugar dysregulation, you may be deficient in C. If you are somebody with PCOS who is also taking metformin, request to be tested for B12. And lastly, magnesium and zinc. Why am I telling you to get tested? Because the only time I've seen people benefit from taking vitamin and mineral supplements is when they were deficient. And there is always the risk of taking in too many vitamins and minerals. And it's important to know about this because this is low-hanging fruit, you guys. It is very easy to treat a vitamin or mineral deficiency. I recommend if you are not exercising to begin exercising regularly. If you are currently exercising like a maniac because you're terrified of weight gain, reduce it, okay? Not exercising at all and exercising too much is not going to be good for your PCOS. You need to get some regular, moderate exercise going. And what I mean by that is go walking 30 minutes every day, do Pilates, some light resistance training a couple times a week, maybe some yoga. That kind of exercise will help to manage your blood sugar, reduce cortisol levels, help you sleep better. All of this is going to be excellent for your PCOS. If you are somebody who experiences hypoglycemic episodes, somebody with prediabetes, diabetes, type 1, type 2, gestational diabetes, or you are somebody who is taking medication that affects your blood sugar, speak to your doctor, your health professional, your registered dietitian before taking any supplement like this that has something like inositol, ashwagandha, or any type of supplement that is known to reduce blood sugar. Whether or not the other fluff in here actually has enough benefit is pretty much inconclusive to me. Some of these have been shown to have benefit not at the doses that are in this product, and the benefits are kind of like minimal, sometimes inconsistent. But the ones that have consistent evidence behind them, and a lot of evidence, are inositol and ashwagandha. Those are the two that I would say are the biggest bang for your buck. If you are somebody who doesn't care about how much this product costs and you like the convenience and you think cow print is cute, go for it. And your doctor has given you the okay, then I don't see a problem overall with this product. However, if you are somebody who doesn't have a lot of money and doesn't really care about the whole flash about this product, then I have a step down for you in price. It is from a company called Intimate Rose. Do I like that name? No, I do not. But it is a company that actually focuses mainly on pelvic floor therapy products because it was developed by a doctor who specializes in those areas. But they also have supplements to help with hormonal regulation. And one of those is their myo-inositol and D-chiroinositol supplement for PCOS. This product is in pill form. It's not super duper flashy. It doesn't have cute cow print on it, but it gives you the exact same amount of myo-inositol and includes some D-chiroinositol in the proper 40:1 ratio, as well as ashwagandha and vitamin D. The difference? A 30-day supply of SMOO will cost you $55. A 30-day supply of the Intimate Rose product will cost you $18. So that's a big freaking difference. If you want to take it down another level, yet another level. Let's say you're somebody with PCOS, you don't really have any blood sugar dysregulation at all, and you just want to help manage the symptoms of PCOS. Then I would suggest getting just myo-inositol. And if you're like, well, I'm still somebody with PCOS and I do have blood sugar dysregulation, so I want the myo-inositol and I also want the ashwagandha, well, I will leave a link in the description to purchase powdered ashwagandha from a very trusted herbal site. And if you mix that ashwagandha and the inositol together in the same dosage that you would get from SMOO, you will end up paying about 18 cents per serving versus $1.80 per serving with SMOO. So hopefully all of that helps you guys out. If you guys are enjoying these reviews and you like learning about the science behind supplements and nutrition and the human body, Definitely like, subscribe, hit that freaking notification bell that I think is so stupid and unnecessary, and you should just see my videos anyway because you subscribe to me. Stupid YouTube. Okay, I'm done with that rant. I need to calm down. Let me know if you guys have tried SMOO, if you like it, if you found other supplements to work for you, what it's like living with PCOS. If you just need somebody to like give you a virtual hug because of what you're going through, let me know. I'll do it. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Do she shoo la 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 pee pa poo ta pa pa tee.